Oh, it's a meme. I see.
In the last video, we went over what limits are and how to find them. So in this video, we are going to go over a real-life application of limits to find when your dad is coming home. Your dad went to the grocery store with $3 to buy some milk. It's been 15 years
There's
and
a
he
resub
hasn't
lemon
come back.
and dank
So
donut.
firstly, let's set up a graph. Where the x-axis represents how far your dad is from home. The distance. And the y-axis represents the time until your dad gets home. The time. Now, one point of confusion for people
Are we
doing
going to
this
use slope
problem is
intercept
that
form?
usually the x-axis is the one that defines time. However, in this case, the y-axis represents time because
prime
I
Sammy?
am Asian and I get to make the math rules. I am Asian. The next step is to set up the equation. Your
prime
dad
panda?
left with $3, and is going to obtain 1 liter of milk, which requires 1 trip to the grocery store, which is 1x distance away from your home. So that means the equation is 3 for $3 over x. But realize if x is negative, that means y is also negative, and time cannot be negative. So the equation is actually the absolute value of 3 over x. If we graph that out, the function looks something like this.
Makes sense to me.
In order to find out
Looks like the Atari logo.
We must take the limit as x goes to 0 of the function f of x. Actually, let's switch to a different color here. F of x. Basically, as the x value approaches 0, what value does the y value approach? As you can see on our graph, the y value, or time it takes until your dad gets home, approaches infinity. The limit as x approaches 0
Exit prime.
in respect to the
Kairiki and the
equation of
resub
the
wombat.
absolute value of 3 over x is infinity. So basically, your dad is never coming home. Never coming.
Well, at least the math solved it.
And there's your final solution. Let's move on to the next problem. Let's say you won the lottery. Your dad, hearing of this news, would spend that $3 on something else, knowing that he will be able to get a lot more than $3 from you once he gets home. That changes the equation to f of x equals the absolute value of 0 over x. And if we draw this graph, you can see the estimated time of arrival of your dad is always 0 no matter where he is. Be sure to check out my other 2 lessons where we use the transitive property of equality to find out who acts.
Math is always so interesting. I always loved math.